Hey guys, we've got a ton of stuff coming in this next beta season 2 update coming on June 2nd. And to talk about the update happening with Map Creator, I've got the man himself, Steve, the dev behind Map Creator. Can I call you the Map Creator? Is that a fair title?
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's just get right into it. First, tell us everything that's planned for the beta season 2 Map Creator feature. What's going to be added to the game? Tell us some of the new features.
One of the major things we have planned is a first version of a file sharing system. You'll be able to back up your existing maps to our backend, after which you'll get back a 12-digit sharing code that you can pass around to us, to your friends, post on your Twitter, and then with that sharing code, people can enter it in the game and it'll download the map corresponding to the sharing code. Yeah, it'll allow us to do things like maybe eventually put it in a featured playlist, stuff like that. Another big thing we did is magnets. So there's a first version of magnets in beta season 2. Magnets is basically a system by which if you hold an object and get close to another object, it'll kind of align the rotation and position to snap to an object. So let's say I have a block here, then it could like come up here and then just like snap to the other object. So you don't always have to rely on your snap settings, and instead you can just turn on magnets to really make your workflow a lot easier, especially when things are off grid, for example, and you're trying to align them. Another feature is we're now allowing you to overlap all game mode objects. And then there's a bunch of small quality of life things, hiding kill zones and thumbnails, like stuff like that, a bunch of small things. And then I guess, yeah, I didn't talk about our new map yet, which we have a brand new map, Wet Ocean.
So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because Wet Ocean, we already have a canvas map in Flat Earth. Why are we adding a new one? What's its purpose?
I guess I'm just really excited to see map screenshots that aren't orange, but no, jokes aside, we love Flat Earth, but this is a great successor, both aesthetics wise and gameplay wise. It's basically a little island in a big ocean surrounded by mountains in the distance with trees on them, and that should be really exciting. It'll create a completely different aesthetic and look for some of the maps. Even if you build the same ones that you built on Flat Earth on this map, should look different, which is really cool. Gameplay wise, what's cool is because it's in water, it kind of gives you this natural kill zone at the water level. So what we decided to do is place an interactable like kill zone at the water level so that there's like a natural, like if you fall into that, the player dies, but you can also choose to remove it if you do want to build underwater. We've also decided to make it twice as big as Flat Earth, which should open up the possibility to create massive maps, and I'm really excited to see what people end up doing with that.
Well, I'm gonna build some underwater bases. I think you can go underwater, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not sure if it's deep enough to build a base, but you can definitely build some stuff down there. Yeah.
It wouldn't be a map creator update if we didn't add new objects to play around with. What kind of objects have we added?
A lot of like foliage and greenery. So we added trees, grass, ferns, flowers, a couple of variants of each of these things. And then there was a big demand for kind of these larger environmental pieces. So our team did some really cool work with Houdini creating these like big cliffs that should be really nice to place on your maps. And then we also made some crates. My personal favorite is a scalable cube object, which this scalable cube is specifically made so it'll be really good for filling up like tiny spaces or really large spaces, just kind of to fill in anything where you feel like you didn't have a block to place before. Yeah.
So here's a fun little question. I know you go out in the community and see what people are saying about the game. Has there ever been a suggestion that you didn't really consider that idea before, and then because you've seen that suggestion, it actually made it into the game for Map Creator?
Yeah, definitely. This is actually a really big one that I don't know why I didn't think about it. Like the way I built Season 1 Map Creator was I required every map to have all of the game mode objects. And someone immediately right off the bat, people suggested like, why can't I delete these things? And I guess I just didn't really think about that because I figured like you would probably want most maps to be playable for all modes, and if you wouldn't, you would just place the ones you didn't want in like a corner and just kind of ignore them. What I ended up doing is I only require 2 initial spawns to be there for both teams, and you can just choose whichever game mode objects you want to support certain game modes, and then the game modes will be grayed out in the custom games lobby if you don't have the required object.
So final question, what's it been like being the main dev behind Map Creator?
am really happy like with the state that it's in and where we're going with it. I personally get to touch a lot of different systems, which is a lot of fun. It's never boring. It's very varied. To step back a little bit, I think what it's like right now is it's kind of like we're trying to build this very robust map creator system that we can just add content onto instead of like necessarily having to refactor a lot of the code. So I'm constantly like going back and refactoring a little bit to make it more robust and then adding new content as well. And we're really trying to just like build out this machine where when people ask us things, like it'll be pretty easy to like actually implement them. And most of the work will be content instead of like heavy lifting engineering. And the file sharing is a really big step towards that, I would say. And then it's been super fun like seeing the crazy things people are making. And I mean, I love that it's like this tool that I made and everyone that we made and that everyone is just using and making these crazy maps. It's awesome seeing the community. Yeah.
Thanks for your time, Steve. And for everyone out there, remember beta season 2 comes out on June 2nd. So that'll be on Xbox, PlayStation, and of course Steam. Pay attention on all our social media channels. We'll be posting updates and teasers every single day leading up to the launch, so you'll know exactly what's going to be in it before it even launches.